The Romanian Legionnaire movement has been described by some as a Christian way of life, an organization created to resist against communism and corruption, mainly peaceful in its manifestation, with some episodes of violence which have nothing to do with its ideology. The violent episodes are usually explained as a response to the constant aggression the members were frequently subjected to. However, the ideas its main leader entertained legitimized the use of violence and crime. Moreover, he promoted the veneration of death. A professor at the University of Iași, Alexandru Constantin Cuza, who was the voice of anti-Semitism back then, concerned with the increasing number of Jews, considered them a danger to the Romanian nation, social parasites which produced degeneracy. Jews were also targeted for their association with the Bolsheviks. Since the union of Bessarabia with Romania in 1918 had not been recognized by the Soviet Russia, Moscow was pursuing a policy of destabilization against Romania, which culminated in the Tatar Bunari uprising. Instigated and led by Bolshevik communists, Ukrainians, Russians and other nationalities in the southern Bessarabia rebelled and attempted a unification with the Soviet Republic of Ukraine. But the uprising was silenced by the Romanian army after several days. Bolshevik-inspired rebellions had occurred in Hotin and Tighina a few years before, and they had been put down by the army as well. Bolshevik terrorist organizations plotted and committed killings all over the country. For example, the gang led by Max Goldstein placed a bomb in the Romanian Senate, killing 3 Romanian senators. The true intentions of the Soviet Union were made known at the Third International when Romania was called an imperialist state and Moscow proceeded through its tool, the Romanian Communist Party, to dismember it. The problems created by Moscow unsettled the Romanians, made them hostile against everything Bolshevism stood for, and led to the emergence of an exacerbated nationalism. During such troubled times, a young student at the University of Iași stood out. His name, Corneliu Zelea Codranu. He had joined Alexandru Constantin Cuza's National Christian Defense League, which he left after a year to create the Legion of the Archangel Michael. Codranu's movement continues the anti-Semitism of the League, to which he added religious mysticism and violent anti-communism. Cuza and Codranu mainly disagreed on the tools to be used to impose their political ideas. Cuza wanted to act within the boundaries of the Constitution, while his disciple wanted to act beyond them. Thus, Codranu considered violence a legitimate tool, which goes hand in hand with the cult of death which he incorporated in the movement's doctrine. Self-sacrifice was passionately promoted, as it can be seen in their propaganda materials. For example, the hymn of the Legionnaire youth highlights the importance of the Legionnaire's death, which is the most precious wedding of weddings. The Legionnaires emerged also as promoters of Christian values, which they opposed to Judaism and Soviet atheism. In the Nest Leader's Manual, Codranu wrote the following about the creation of the Legion. Not great in numbers, but strong in our unwavering faith in God and His support, strong in our conviction and stubbornness to stand immovable amidst any tempest, strong through our complete detachment of worldly concerns, an act which is manifested through the desire, the delight of courageous disunion with the world, thus serving the cause of our people and the purpose of the cross. If we read between the lines, we can see that although they embraced Christian morality, they were eager to die. Their cutting off connections with earthly things made them ready to kill and die. For Codranu, things were clear. The legionnaires who committed a crime were doomed forever. But a murder committed knowing what the price was becomes a sacrifice. With only a few words carefully chosen, the Christian canons are distorted, misinterpreted to turn the murderers into heroes. Strangely enough, the legionnaires' attraction to death achieved messianic meanings. Just as Christ sacrificed himself on the cross for the forgiveness of mankind's sins, so as legionnaires gave up deliberately their eternity for the good of people. After the Romanian Prime Minister Ion Gheorghe Duca was killed by the Nicadors, Vasile Marin, a prominent leader of the movement, praised the three young students who committed an act for a great purpose. You all know what act it was. Their sacrifice was inspired by a great idea, and now they are paying the price. For legionnaires, murder became synonymous with sacrifice for the country.